Recording in progress. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the final Zoom session of our artist shawl knit along. Yay! It's been super fun. About 10:30 last night, I bound off the last stitch of my where's the end? Of my I-cord bind off on the top of this. So here it is. It is not blocked. So it looks a little funky. And I just pinned it together. Oh, thank you, Smith. I've pinned it together. I've not sewn it together yet. I'm gonna undo it so I can show you again, just as a reminder of how you bring it around and put it together. So I'm going to talk to you while I'm unpinning it. I realize that people are going to be at all kinds of stages with their shawls, and that's totally okay. I will go through and ask you folks to show us where you're at a bit later. But first, I want to talk about this and a couple of things. First of all, I realized I did something. I made a mistake. I made a pretty big mistake, gotta say. I did something that I tell people, don't ever do this. One of those do as I say and not as I do things. And that is, I changed needles in the middle of this project. Allison, I saw you gasp. She went, what? Yeah. You're not supposed to change needles in the middle of a project. And I'm not talking about needle size. I'm talking about like the actual needles that I was using and it can make a bigger difference than you think. When I started knitting this, here's the bottom section. I was knitting it with my signature needles that are entirely metal and very smooth. Okay, they're not quite as slick as an Addy Turbo, those nickel-plated ones that are super shiny and slick. Not quite that slick, but almost. And then I took the shawl with me on my trip to Boston because I wanted to keep knitting on it while I was traveling. And there's lots of knitting time while you're traveling on airplanes and sitting at airports and et cetera, et cetera. And I didn't want to take my signature needles with me on the plane just in case I got some zealous security person who decided that no, 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 you're not taking those super sharp metal needles with you on your airplane. And the signature needles are on the pricey side, and I can't buy them anymore because they've stopped making them. So I'm feeling pretty precious about them, and I didn't want to lose them. So instead, I took some CHOGU Forte needles that look like this. So they have the, pointy, shiny, slick tips, but the body of the needle, although it feels pretty smooth, is some kind of composite material. And I can't remember, the smaller ones are a different material than the bigger ones. Anyway, it's a little grippier than my super slick signature needles. And so I started knitting with these as I was traveling. And I didn't notice until last night after I bound off, because I'm just like on a mad knit, 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 knit. Like, get this thing knit. I need to get it knit for Sunday. I did not notice that my tension had changed. Now, it's going to be very subtle, but you can see it. Look at the size of the diamonds at the bottom, and look at the size of the diamonds through this middle area. Do you see that?
Yes.
They're smaller. They're smaller. Same size needle. both very high quality needles, like not glitchy sizes at all. And just that little bit of surface change on the needle itself was enough to cause me to be knitting tighter through that section. Also, I was picking it up and putting it down, and I was knitting it on a plane, and I was knitting it on the bus and in a car, like constantly. And sometimes my hands, I don't know about you, but sometimes my hands get a bit sweaty. Anyway, that and the grippiness of this yarn, this is very grippy yarn. All of these things in combination caused me to be knitting tighter through that section, which means that I don't have the stretch and the length through that midsection that I had intended to have. I measured this last night. Now, again, I haven't blocked this yet, so it needs a good wet block.
Will that help it?
It should help it. So I'm gonna soak it and then, stretch it out, let those fibers relax, give them room to breathe, and see if I can get it stretched out. But I am actually 9 inches short of the length that I should have. So I gauged this to be a 60-inch width, and it's only 51 at the narrowest part, like right where this black and white stripe is, which is where I was kind of tightest through there. I've only got 51 inches, so I am 9 inches short. So what that means is when I wrap this around and pinned it together and put it on, and it looks fabulous, by the way. I absolutely love it. But it's snug through the shoulder area, which is right where, like, the spot where I need it to be the most drapey and have the most give is the spot where it's tightest right now, right through here, right through my widest point. So it kind of just fits around me. Sorry, it's not going that way, it's going this way. So this is going to come around and sew to here. And let me stand up so you can see what the heck I'm doing. Okay.
Nicole, could you wear it? Could you wear it the other way? Just flip it.
Well, I thought about that too. That's a good point, Deborah. And I'm going to talk about that in a second about what my options are now, right? So what's happening is, because I don't have enough ease through the shoulder, is that the upper part is just bunching up around my neck because it's not sitting down loose and pretty around my shoulders like my other shawls do. And so what am I going to do, right? I have this problem now of my own making, right? Nothing to do with the pattern or the yarn or any of that. It was my own making. Thanks, Smita. Yeah, I do. I love it. I think it looks fantastic. I'm very happy with it. The other thing I did, you can see I made a little modification at the top edge here. I did 5 repeats of the waffle here, and then a full color band here. And then I only did 3 of the waffle after that. And then I only did a half band up here for a couple of reasons. One, because I would have been knitting until 3 in the morning had I done all of the repeats. And the other reason is I didn't actually want it as deep as it was starting to turn out. So I thought on the fly, and this is what I love about this shawl method, is that you can make these changes on the fly as you go, right? You can change it up, you can change up your colors, you can do this differently, you can repeat that one more time or take it away. You're not as restricted to following the pattern as you are when it's a shaped item. Not to say you're totally restricted, but this is just more, you have more options. Does that make sense? I'm sorry, I have COVID brain. So, okay, so what am I going to do now? It's not wide enough. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wet block it. I'm going to wet block it and see if I can get more width out of it. I don't think I'm going to get 9 inches, frankly. That would be, about 20% or so. That's a lot. That's a lot. Blocking solves a lot of problems, but it's got its limitations. So that might not do it, but I'll start there and then I'll see where I'm at with the drape and how it's fitting around my shoulders. So the next thing I could do is I can add more length. Now, as you will recall, this was knit lengthwise, right? We cast on for the full length and knit up. So I can't just undo this end and knit some more that way. That's not going to happen, right? I'm not going to be able to add more of the same pattern onto here in this direction. So my options are, if I want to add some length, are I'm going to add length to either this end or this end. Let's say this end is going to get sewn up to here. So if I add something to this end, like if I pick up these stitches along here and knit that way, I'm going to be adding what is essentially going to be another stripe of something right here, which is going to really widen up this stripe section. You see what I mean? So I'll have less of the beautiful color work section in the front and more stripe sections in the front. So I think instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add it to this end instead. And I might take the stripe that's here and either just like, cast on this edge and repeat this down here. I might even, if I'm feeling super clever, try to miter it around the corner. Do you know what I mean by that? So these stripes come down into the corner and across continuously, rather than this band coming down this way and then the stripes going all the way across this way. I'll see if I can, yeah, Smita's nodding her head. Yeah, I get that now. Right? So it looked like a picture frame, right? Where the border turns the corner. So I might see if I can try and make it do that. I don't actually think that I can. Anyway, not that it matters, but I'm going to add it to the bottom because it will be less noticeable down at the bottom. This is the end that kind of hangs way down here past your waist. So if I've got a different strip down here, it's not going to take away from having all of this up front here. Right? See what I mean? See, that's a kind of a design choice I'm making. So that's an option I can add down here. It'll still look like there's continuity because it's going to be a repeat of one of the design elements down at the bottom, but not take away from having this because look how cool this is. Is that not so cool? Do you not love it? And then, as Donna said, the other option is maybe can I flip it over and get the part that was looser up around the top. And you can see already, just by doing that it's a bit better, right? And I get lots of the color work, so it would come around like this.
Couldn't you pick up these stitches and add more of this?
Add more of what? Of the color?
Stripes?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Adding the stripes. So that's better already, right? Not terrible. So I might, but I don't know. I don't think I love the stripes down at the bottom. What do you think? No, I'm not loving it.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
it's not the same, right?
no,
Yeah.
no.
It
I
feels like this needs to be on the lower
yeah, yeah.
half. Yeah.
You
Anyway,
know, first block it. I have a feeling that the drape will get better as well. It's quite stiff now, right?
yeah, it is pretty stiff. Yeah. Like I did give it a bit of a shot of steam, but that's not enough to really get all of the loosen it all up and get all the drape into it. So I will block it and see how it goes. Maybe I don't have to do anything. Maybe I just need to add a little bit to an end, but again, I'm going to position it so that it's down in the bottom of the long part of the shawl. And another thing that I might do is, and I noticed as I was binding this off last night that my bind off was just because of the nature of the knitting at the top part was very loose. So you see how it's kind of loose enough that it's curling to the right side, like it's almost stretching out my top edge a little bit, that I-cord bind off I did. I might take this bind off back and do the bind off again, do the I-cord bind off again, but knit two together in the body of the garment as I'm doing the attached I-cord. So I'll do like maybe 1, 2, 3 regular I-cord passes, and then I'll knit two together on the fourth one. So maybe every fourth one, I'll take an extra stitch out of the body, which will make this upper edge a bit tighter, so that when this is wrapped around in the wrapover shape and sitting around my neck, this upper edge will just draw in a little bit, almost like shaping it around my shoulders a tiny bit. Does that make sense? Do you get my drift? So I'm going to tighten up. In other words, I'm going to tighten up this I-cord bind off around the top edge to draw that in, to make it fit around the neck a bit better. So that's another option. I'm probably going to do that. Because what I'm not going to do, here's option number, where are we at now? 5. Here's option number 5, is I can frog all of this back down to here. No. I can frog it all back and I can reknit it more loosely on my bigger needles. No, everyone's like, no. No, that's not gonna happen. There's like this much of me, this much right here that's tempted to do that. But no, I don't need to do that because I can do something else that'll make this work. It is pretty groovy though, isn't it? Look how
And the
groovy
colors
it is.
on you are spectacular.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
It's beautiful colors as well on you.
I love it. And
Yeah.
I kind of wish I was an American because I think it's very patriotic, don't you? It's making me feel very patriotic. I should have had this on when I was walking around Boston. I bet I could have sold it like 100 times over. People are very patriotic in Boston, I must say. They are. It was fun. Boston was fun. I saw a great octopus at the aquarium. Super fun. Boston was a cool place. Did you know? Okay, here's something I learned about Boston while I was there that I had no idea. That like 75% of Boston is man-made land. That they practically flattened all of the hillside in the Boston area and used all that earth to create waterfront. So it's all sitting on, dirt that they salvaged from the hills, which is why Boston is so flat. Because it's man-made, like 75% of it is man-made. And then one of the islands that's just off of Boston had been used as a dump for many, many years. It was starting to get really gross and it was polluting the harbor. And back in, I think they said it was like the 80s or 90s, like the harbor was just disgusting and it was dead and gross. And they thought, okay, we've got to do something about this. So what they did was they needed more earth to cover up this island of grossness and clean it all up. So they dug tunnels under the city. And when you're in Boston, there are like major highways that go through tunnels underneath the downtown of Boston. So they dug out these tunnels underneath Boston. They took all of that earth out from the tunnels and they put it on the island and cleaned it up, and now it's beautiful. It's like a park. It's gorgeous. And they put in these sewage treatment plants, and they did all these fabulous things. So amazing. Like, places are amazing,
Very,
aren't they?
yeah.
It's so interesting to learn this stuff when you go to places, but I did not know that. So now you know. Boston is 75% man-made land. Okay, that's my story about my artist wrapover that I will like finish and complete, and then talk about it on my podcast when it's totally done, and on the Ravelry. Does anybody have any questions, any comments, anything you want to talk about? Do you want to show us where your work is at the moment? Anyone? Bueller? Oh, Paula. Oh, Paula, yes, please show yours.
So I don't know if I've got it sewn together. It's not sewn together, it's pinned, and I don't know.
Okay.
But,
Oh, look at how gorgeous it is.
sorry, right way around, right?
Oh, I love the way you did your colors. Absolutely love it. Look at that.
So it is
Looks
big,
good.
but I think I was wearing it too low too, right? I think I have to pull it up higher
Okay.
and let it drape more.
Right. You can, again, like, you can try the tightening up the I-cord edge
I
around
did do,
the top.
I did go down a needle size, like,
Ah, okay. Good idea.
but I could do that too.
Yeah.
Just,
Oh, it's
I
just
don't usually
beautiful.
tell there, but that's,
Look at it. It's beautiful, Paula.
anyways,
The length.
Yeah.
I don't know. So,
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I think if you can tighten up the
yes.
I-cord edge even just a little bit, it'll make a difference. And then
Yeah.
it'll drape more smoothly
Yeah.
around the
So
neck.
I
But it
did
looks great. I love it.
the double knit two together every third or fourth stitch.
Yeah, every third or fourth. Like, I think maybe do that for 10 inches or so, and see how
Oh.
much it's pulling in. If it looks like it's pulling in enough or too much, you can always back it out a bit and redo it.
And you recommend that more than the crochet chain inside? I didn't do anything.
Well, you could crochet chain inside too, and you could even like just draw a strand of yarn through. I wouldn't use this yarn because it's so grippy,
Yes.
but something smoother, like like a cotton or something. You could thread it up, because you've got I-cord, you've got like a tube running across the top, right? So you can just thread it right through and draw it up, and that would work to draw it in, and you could get it exactly the way you want it. The downside of doing that is that it's not going to have any stretch once you've done that. Okay? Once you've put this in there and drawn it up, you've lost any stretch in that top edge. Not that it matters necessarily, because it's, way big enough to get over your head and drape. But it might feel a little weird. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because knitting should be stretchy, and that top edge won't be stretchy. And a similar thing would happen if you crochet chain. Although the crochet will still have a bit of give, it would have more give than running this through. You could run some elastic through, like a fine elastic in there, and that might help. So there's lots of ways to
Tighten it up.
kind of finesse that the way you want it. I think for me, I'm going to try redoing the I-cord bind off and see if that draws it in a bit. But it looks spectacular, Paul. I absolutely love it. Doesn't it look great, everyone? Like,
The colors look so good on you. You'll
it
get
looks
so many
so
compliments.
good on you.
Yeah.
And I love the way you did the white band and then the gray band up top. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just stunning. Well done. Well done. And Sheila, I know you're still working on your bottom grand mosaic. How's it going?
mute myself here.
That's okay.
It's going. I'm just kind of getting going. So I did
Trying to
the
get-
first diamond. Yeah. So that's as far as I've got.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome. It's looking really good. I love the pink and white. So pretty.
I thought I'll be for my daughter, so that's her colors.
Oh, great. Oh, good, good, good. That's great. And Deborah, what are you up to?
So I have, mine is shorter on purpose because I doubled up the yarn.
Oh, okay, interesting.
So that was intentional.
Okay.
I have two choices. One is to wear it as a cowl.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, here it is. This is what it looks
Oh,
like.
great.
So
Love the hot pink.
yeah, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just chose colors of clothes I wear, so it goes with everything.
Wow.
So I think I may just not do a waffle stitch
Okay.
and just end it with the
And with the mosaic?
way it starts. And I think I know I can sew it together in the back. My concern was it was going to droop open and show the inside, but I think
Right.
it's stiff enough that it won't. So
Yeah,
that
well,
was
you can always kind of fold it in, right? Instead
right,
of
fold
letting
it
it
over
slip
on
out,
itself.
you
Yeah.
can fold it in. And again, I don't know what kind of bind off you were planning to do, but you could do a bind off that's a little tighter.
Yeah, I not doing any I-cord. It was too difficult for me.
Right, you're doing the rolled
Rolled
stockinette.
edge.
Yeah. So again, like Paula did, you can go down a needle size or two on that final edge, and that'll keep that top edge a little tighter and help it be more inclined to roll in than out.
Yeah, and that was the concern at first I had, was that it's going to show, but I don't think it will. So that's option one. Option two was to add waffle on the edges
Right.
and make it into the shape that everyone else is making.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, yeah.
But I don't know that I want to do that now that I think I can get it to work as a cowl. So I think that's the way I'm going to go.
I think it would make a fantastic cowl. Great idea.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing.
Love it. Great. Who else have we got here? Denise, how's yours going?
I actually couldn't pick out the right colors for the artist shawl, so I'm doing the Roman
Oh, you're doing the Roman Villa.
Villa.
Oh, great. Oh, that's looking great.
Yeah, I was intimidated by it, and I'm not often intimidated. But once I got started, it's really not a difficult
It's
shawl
not
to
that
make.
bad. I mean,
Yeah.
it looks complex because there's a lot of different charts and stuff going on. But you're only working on one part of it at a time.
Right, right. So
So,
I'm now doing the I-cord bind off, and this is the first time I've done that. So I'm
ooh.
enjoying that. Once I figured
Yeah,
out which way to do it.
excuse me. It takes a bit of time, I gotta say. Like it took me a good, 2.5, 3 hours to do the bind off on this last night because it's a lot of stitches. And you have to remember when you're doing I-cord, if you've got 360 stitches, you're actually knitting like 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 2, 3 or 4 for each of those stitches
Mhm.
because you're adding a little roll of fabric at the top. So it's, it's over 1,000 stitches or close to 1,000 stitches by the time you're done. So that's why it takes so much longer. You're not just re-knitting the stitches you already knit and binding them off. You're adding extra stitches as you go. So it takes time. Smith, Smith, are you making a face because Mo came in and out?
No, I'm trying to answer Karen's question. She has an interesting question.
Oh, sorry. I haven't even been looking at the chat. Oh my
No,
goodness.
she's just sent it to me. So
Oh,
Karen,
okay.
try to switch on your camera. Let me see if I can help because everybody's setting is the same. I haven't changed anybody's.
Okay. Thank you, Denise. That's looking really good. I mean, I'll be excited to see that finished. Allison, I know you're doing the triangle version, right?
Give me 2 seconds. I'm almost to the end of my row, and then I
Okay.
can.
Okay. All right, we'll let you finish. Mo, let's see what you're up to.
So I'm doing the slip party.
Oh, yeah, right. Yes.
Yeah, and
How's it going?
using your Roman villa concept.
Oh, good, good.
So I have
Oh, it's
just
so pretty.
joined it, and then I'm going to make the border of different colors like that. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Lovely. Lovely.
Applying your Roman villa concept to slips stitch party, because I had also made the arters quite recently
Right.
before coming across your Zoom
All
idea.
right. So you didn't want to do it again.
Yeah,
Yeah, fair enough. Fair
not
enough.
quite.
Oh, that's great.
I'm
Good.
just-
I love
yeah,
it. I love all the variation that's going on. That's really awesome.
yeah.
That yarn is so beautiful, Mo. So beautiful.
Yeah, and my friend Lois converted this pattern to yeah, for the right calculation. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, Allison, did you get to the end of your row?
I did. Thanks. So I'm in
Oh,
of
Wow.
no, I'm starting chart B.
wow.
So
Oh, it's
I'm
looking
quite
great.
happy with the colors so far. My yarn is very slippery, so I'm nervous a little bit about the color work, but we'll see how it goes after I've blocked it. It's getting a little bit bunchy in places. So I'm sure by the time I wet block it, it'll be fine. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, even just giving it a bit of a steam, it looks better. But it
Yeah.
was very the triangles were very lumped.
You're getting those those rounded. Yeah.
Exactly.
If you look at the actual artist pattern closely, like if you look at the pictures on her pattern really closely, you can see that texture in
It doesn't look
her
bad,
work.
just not
No, it doesn't
quite
look
as
bad.
it's not
The
as
key is
crisp.
you want it consistent. So, you either want it all lumpy or none of it lumpy.
Exactly.
That's the
That is
technical term,
exactly
by
how I
the way.
but I'm really happy with the colors. So
Yeah, it's looking great. Super
just
fun.
keep plunking
Come on,
away.
keep plugging away. It is, I'm going to say this about, about this particular pattern. It's a lot of knitting. I don't know if you noticed that, but it's a lot of knitting. Like this
Yes.
took me a lot longer than I anticipated it would. Because forgetting that with mosaic, you're really, each row is really 2 rows.
Yes.
And so it's quite dense. The waffle goes faster, but even then, there's slip stitches in the waffle as well. So it does slow you down. I'll say these stripes. Remember back at the beginning when I said I didn't understand why she did stranded instead of mosaic for these stripes when they could have been done with slip stitch color work? The reason she did stranded is it goes twice as fast. Because you're not having to do each row twice, right? Like you are, because this is actually 8 or 10 rows. Oh my goodness, snacks. Okay. My dad is here. He just brought snacks.
Chocolate babka.
Chocolate babka. Look at this. Chocolate babka in a little knotted bun thing. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Wow.
thank you, Dad.
Good dad. Nicely done. There's a fabulous little cafe that's walking distance from my house. There aren't very many like shops or retail outlets. I'm in a very isolated sort of neighborhood that's near a ferry terminal, but there are a couple, and one of them is called the Fox and Monocle. And it's this very popular little cafe kind of bakery place, and they have some pretty spectacular stuff. So he walked over there and brought these back.
Vancouver? Did you say Vancouver or?
On Vancouver Island,
All
I'm
right.
I'm near Victoria, but I'm up at the end of the peninsula near the ferry terminal. So when you take the ferry from Vancouver to Vancouver Island, I am
Yeah.
like almost right beside the ferry terminal that you land on when you come to Vancouver Island. So
Wow.
that's where I am. Yeah. Now I was talking about something. What was it? I forget. I'm lost now.
Stripes, you're talking about the stripes and it being,
Oh, the stripes. Yes, thank you. Right, right. So, right. Because there's actually like 8, 10, 12 rows to do this stripe in slip stitch, as opposed to half that many in the center part. You only need to do 4 rows for the actual color work part if you're doing it in stranded. Right? Is that making sense? Because, you know, you have to knit it twice, you have to knit back and forth for each bit of color in the slip stitch, whereas with the stranded, you're working both colors as you go. So you only have to do it once and back once and back. Each row counts. Anyway, yes, there's a lot of knitting in this pattern. That's where I was. Now I'm coming back around again to where I was. Okay, does anyone else, Karen, Lois, I know you're undercover there right now. I don't know if you want to show off or not. No pressure, you don't have to. But if you want to, oh,
I'm
Yeah,
Nicole.
it's not-
Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Louis. Yeah.
hi, Lois.
Karen's having some trouble getting into the session with her camera open.
Oh, bummer.
And she has her project finished.
Oh, I want to see it. Karen, is there a little banner up at the top that says that this episode is being recorded? Have you clicked OK on that banner? Because I think that if you don't click OK on that banner, it limits your participation.
Oh,
If she can hear me.
she asked me what to do, and that didn't click me. I was like, I tried to request her to open, like, I am muted, no banner. Oh, she's
No banner.
muted as well. Oh,
Oh, weird.
that's very weird. Should I pause the recording, start again so that she gets that banner, if everybody's okay, just very quickly, or?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do that. And then I can piece them together. Okay, so intermission.
Fold over
Hold
and
on.
converted it so that you knit the poncho seamless, and then you put the border on the end, like Moshami is just getting ready to do. And that puts the mosaic border sort of over your shoulder.
Right, right.
I would show you mine, but I'm not far enough along to demonstrate it really. I'm
Okay.
just joining mine, but Karen has hers completed. So if we can get her into the session,
Well,
you'll see what we've been up to.
Karen, what if you tried leaving and coming back in, or have you tried that already? She can't. She can't talk. Is she talking to you, Smita, through the chat? Okay, okay, good.
Yeah, what she says is she can send me a picture, and I was telling her, Nicole, that you are going to let everyone know that they anyways need to share their finished project if they want to participate.
Yes,
in
yes.
that.
So that's right. And that's a good segue into this part. So Smita and I promised you prizes, and we are going to follow through on our promise of prizes. So here's how that's going to work. Because we realize that, you know, it's tough for people to be here in person on a Sunday. We're still trying to figure out, you know, when is the best time to do these live Zoom things where we can capture the most people. So we're going to work that out. I said I was going to put a poll up on my community thread on my YouTube channel, and I haven't done that yet, but I will. So watch out for that. And so here's how we're going to do it. This is what's going to happen. There are going to be 3 prizes. 3. Okay. Prize number 1 is going to be for a finished version of the original Artus in the triangle shape. Prize number 2 is going to be for a finished version of the Artus in wrapover style. Like Paula has one right there. So there you go. Paula can enter for a finished version of the wrapover. And prize number 3 is going to be for a whip. And the whip can be it can be an Artus, or it can be something else you've been working on through the knit along. As long as you've actually been registered for the knit along, and we know that you're out there. It's good. So here's how you're going to enter for one of these prizes. And I'll tell you what the prizes are going to be. 2 of the prizes are going to be gift cards from Smita's shop, Your Next Knit. And one of the prizes is going to be, I am going to send you a copy of this book, Custom Shawls, by Kate Atherley and Kim McBrien Evans, both who are brilliant designers and knitting teachers. And they created this book on how to design your own shawls, which includes like every shawl shape that you can imagine and how to do it. And there's patterns in here, and there's yarn choices, and how to do a garter tab. There's just all kinds of really fabulous information in this book. It's a great resource to have in your, even if you're not going to design something from scratch, it's just very helpful to read some of this information and understand how these shawls are shaped. And especially if you're going to do conversions, like this, you're going to take a different shawl shape and convert it back to a rectangle. This book can help you understand how to do that. So I will be sending that to somebody. We have not yet decided which category is going to get which prize. So here's how it's going to work. Sometime during this week, from today up until Friday, May 24th, I'm correct on that date, right? You are going to go to the Ravelry group, go to the Ravelry group thread for the Artus Knit Along, and post a picture of your work, either finished or a whip, if it's a whip, and say, hi, I finished the whatever, and I'm entering this category for the prize. And if I get a choice, this is the prize that I want. Okay, so you can actually put a preference for either a gift card from Smita's shop, totally worth it because she's got fab stuff there, or have me send you this custom shawls book. All right, does that make sense? Any questions, comments, concerns, complaints? All good? So we've got today plus 5 more days to do that, to finish. Oh, Karen! Yay! Karen made it in. Karen, can you unmute yourself? No, Karen, you're still on mute. We can't hear you. We could see you. Oh, now we can't see you. No, Karen, come back.
Oh, yeah,
Here we go. Okay, we could see you, but we can't hear you.
There must be a small mic on your screen. If you click on it, it'll unmute. No? Let me see if I can unmute.
Show her project. I can
Can you talk us through it? If she, she
Yeah.
stands up. Oh, yeah. Oh, look what you did. Wow.
You can also,
So okay, now I'm seeing her. So
wear it like that.
Yeah.
would just be that border. We added it in. I can't see Karen right now, but
Karen, can you
Trading it.
turn around? Oh, yeah, she's unmuted now. Karen, yeah, your blur background is thwarting you here. It's focusing on
there. Okay.
nothing.
So we basically
Oh, there we go. Excellent.
once you have the poncho border and part of the your shoulder, and then you can wear the poncho any way you want it.
Okay, can you turn around, Karen, just so I can see how it goes on the back side? Oh, right. Okay, so it is just along one edge.
Yeah, so you're just knitting a long piece.
Right. Okay. Okay.
It would help
Wow.
if you go to the Ravelry and look up Churchmouse Seamless Poncho.
Churchmouse Seamless Poncho. I'm going to make
Maybe
a note
it's
so that I
fold over.
can.
It may be
Nicole,
his fold
that's-
over poncho.
Yeah.
Here we are. I think maybe I'm unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear. We can hear you now, Karen. You're good.
Oh, fabulous, fabulous. I
hear
tried
you.
to share my project at the link, but of course, nothing's working right today, and that didn't work either.
Oh,
Okay, so
yeah.
what I was trying to show you is, so we were knitting this band, and you can wear it straight at the edge if you want.
Right. Yep.
And then it follows in the back.
Right.
I prefer it on my body like this.
Like that.
think
Yeah.
it's a
I
little
like
more
that
flattering.
too. Yeah.
So we basically knit a 22 by 24 inch rectangle.
Okay.
And then we joined it in a seamless way per that pattern that Lois was the mastermind in this. So per that pattern, we joined it to create this circular here at the neck.
Right. Okay.
And that pattern is designed with a 5-inch border. This is much larger.
Ah.
So I decided, since this was so large, I didn't want artists to start right at the edge of my neck.
Yeah.
So I've measured from my neck to my shoulder, and that was 3.5. So I did 3 more inches of the waffle
Okay.
after I joined it, just so that the border, because I knew I wanted to wear it this way, so
Yep.
the border would start at my
Right at the
shoulder,
shoulder.
instead of the edge of my neck. And then when you wear
Perfect.
this one that way with no point, it's also on my shoulder. Now
Love
it's not
it.
blocked, so nothing is laying nice. But we were working with 120 stitches in the border the whole time. So we
Okay.
were kind of knitting it sideways.
Yeah,
And
Karen's yarn is DK.
yeah. Yeah, mine's DK.
And that's a DK yarn instead of fingering. Yeah.
Yeah,
this is
mine is
Morocco vintage DK, which is a very light DK.
Yeah.
But I knew
Yeah.
I wanted to wear this outside. And the nice thing about this style and your style, both the modified, is
Mhm.
now ladies were wearing one layer. Instead of, if it were the triangle shawl, you bunch it all up.
Yeah.
And you get
Right.
a lot of fabric and you get quite warm, I think.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
both
I agree.
styles, like I think your style is genius because it gave us this idea to see what we could do to wear it as one layer.
Yeah. Fantastic. I love that option. That is a great option.
Yep.
Super
So
great.
it was very fun.
Yeah. And a very easy way to, a very simplified way to modify, to take an element from a shawl that you love.
Yeah, and this
Yeah.
Churchmouse pattern also has a 2-point cowl. So if you were interested in doing
Okay.
lots of the border and still having the beauty, you could
Right.
do the same thing with the cowl.
Love
just
it.
Apply the border, and then it would be a lot less knitting, and you'd still have this same kind of look, but it'd come about here.
Right. Right.
So, and you probably
So
wouldn't do
great.
this.
So many
yeah.
fabulous options. I
Thank
love
you
it.
for helping me with all my problems.
Oh, you're welcome.
I've got about maybe 15 more stitches on the I-cord, and then I'm done.
And then you're done.
That takes a lot of time, just because
Yeah.
I did your 3-stitch, and that it turned out really nice.
Yeah, it's true. They, the I-cord does take time, but I find it worth it. I like it as a finished edge.
Mhm.
I like the way it looks. It looks very finished.
Mhm.
And then when you're finished knitting, what I really like about it is when you're finished knitting, you're finished knitting.
And I think the I-card probably helps it to not roll. Once everything's blocked,
Yeah,
everything's going to be laying a lot
that's
nicer.
right.
And
Yeah.
I'll figure out how to share it in the Ravelry. I must have picked the wrong group to share it to.
Oh,
It was Knicoleknits, but maybe you have a special artist link.
yeah, there was an artist thread. You might have just put it. I've only got 2 threads in there right now.
Okay, I'll share
So
it to the
there's
other, and then that photo will be in projects.
Welcome to Knicoleknits thread, and then there's the artist knit along thread. So
Okay.
yeah, definitely put it in. But that's a good point, Karen. Thank you. I will go and look in the other thread and see if anybody accidentally wandered in there.
Yeah, because it would be nice to see all these lovely completed ones in there.
I
They are
know,
all
and there
so
was some,
beautiful in all the color choices. It's really fun to see.
yeah, there was some really gorgeous color combinations people had too that I'm very excited to see.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Great. Thanks so much for sharing that. That was an enormously valuable another version of this. It's fantastic. I love it. Keep them coming. So I'll find the link to that Churchmouse Seamless Poncho and put it down below with this video when I post it up. So I promise, well, you guys don't care because you're here. But I promise I will get this. I will post the replay of this video up today so that people who weren't able to be here have the rest of the week to quickly knit, like get those needles clicking as fast as they possibly can. Oh, okay. Speaking of which, clicking needles, I was going to tell you about my wand. Okay, so here is my wand. When I was in Boston, Salem, Massachusetts is about a half-hour drive north of Boston. So we went to Salem because we wanted to check out, there's a fabulous museum there called Peabody Essex that has some absolutely incredible stuff in it. We didn't have enough time in there, but also there's the Salem Witch Museum. And there happened to be a wand store called Why Not Wands. Here's the name of the wand store. And it was just like stepping into that store in Harry Potter. Remember the wand shop? What's his name's wand shop in Harry Potter? It was just like walking in there, like floor to ceiling. And there were wands everywhere and boxes everywhere up top, and it was dark and spooky, and it was very cool. In the video I posted yesterday, I did put a couple little pictures up in there. Anyway, the way wands work is wands are supposed to choose you. So I walked around the store and looked at all the wands, and I picked up this one. This was the first wand that I picked up. And the guy behind the desk said, that is the wand of law and balance. And I'm a paralegal. So I think this wand was meant to be mine. So I had to buy it. Like, what else was I going to do? And it comes with a certificate. It's actually been charmed by someone who has those kind of powers, apparently. So it's like, it's all official and everything. But here's the thing about wands, right? Like knitting needles are just wands. We take 2 wands and some string and we make magic, which is why this appealed to me. Because it looks like a knitting needle, really. It's just like a big fat knitting needle. I should have bought 2. What was I thinking? I should have bought a second one and then I could be knitting with my wands. Oh, now I come up with the brilliant idea. Anyway, that was pretty fun. I also got a shot glass from Harvard. I tried to find a Harvard martini glass. They do not make them. They made wine glasses and beer glasses, and this was as close as I could get, was a shot glass. And it has already been used while we were in Boston to make martinis. So it has been christened as a martini making shot glass from Harvard. I got my usual slew of, I always get fridge magnets everywhere I go. So I got a Boston fridge magnet. I got a New England aquarium fridge magnet because the New England aquarium was fantastic. And I got a Harvard fridge magnet because now all of 6 of us that were there can now say that we have been to Harvard. We did a Harvard tour. We walked all around. We went in buildings. It was fun. We had a good time. Oh, and I guess you might want to see the yarn that I bought.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you.
Because I did go to a yarn store. There was one yarn store in all of the Boston area that was like in a drivable distance. And it was actually pretty close to downtown, but one. And that was the Boston Fiber Company. And it was a fantastic store. I absolutely loved it. And I bought some Boston related things while I was there because they had a lot of local stuff, which I really enjoy in a yarn store. They were very keen on that. So this yarn, which is hand dyed in Maryland, which is pretty close, is mercerized Pima cotton. I had never seen a cotton in a tonal, beautifully dyed tonal like this. It's really gorgeous. It's much more greeny than, it's very greeny blue, but can you see you can just barely see the color variation in this. It's just stunning. It's very rich and deep. Check that.
Nicole, what is the brand?
Oh, sorry. It's Terrapin Fiberworks.
And what is the color?
TER, Terrapin Fiberworks. And this color is called
Atlantic finger?
no, Atlantic Fingering is the yarn. I can't read the handwriting on that one. Let's try this one.
It's okay.
Cato, I can't read this person's writing. Looks like CATOCTIN, I think.
Cool. We have a friend that is allergic to wool, so she always
Cotton?
uses cotton.
Oh yeah? Oh, this is just beautiful.
Really pretty.
It's absolutely stunning. So I bought two of those because there's a lot of yardage on here. There are 437 yards.
Wow.
Which is a lot for cotton in a 100-gram skein. So I got two, which would be enough to do, a tank or a, fitted tee or something like that. A tank anyway. And then they had these Katie Knits in Boston yarns that are actual Boston dyed yarns. And this one is called, these are fingering, they're merino nylon blend. This one's called America's Ballpark because we went to the Fenway Stadium is in Boston, and it has this big wall called the Green Monster that is like this big tall green wall, and if people hit home runs over that, anyway, they call it the Green Monster. So this is America's Ballpark. We went to a baseball game over there. It was fun. We also went to Game 7 of the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Boston Bruins game on the Saturday night. That was exciting. Holy moly, the energy in that stadium. Oh my God. I could not get over it. I thought we were going to get clobbered by the Boston fans around us. They were very intense. Anyway, there were some guys behind us who were just like, throwing F-bombs out about Canada, and like they were being pretty harsh. And so Randy and I turned around and we just had a gentle little chat with them, asking them some questions about the stadium. And, we didn't say anything about their language or what they were doing. We just asked them some curious, and they're like, "Oh, are you from Canada?" "Yeah, we are. We're hockey fans." And then they really calmed down after that. They settled right down. So it's kind of funny. Anyway, our very Canadian way of, diffusing a tense situation. This one is called Steady Blue Clear View. Isn't that nice? Look at that. And it really reminds me of, the seashore, like the harbor. Down there. It's very nice. And this one is a very dark green, and it's called Do You Want to Go for a Walk? And I just kind of like that name. I don't know why, but I did. Do you want to go for a walk?
What's the brand?
It's called Katie Knits in Boston. So Katie Knits in Boston.
Very nice.
KKIB. And so these are, I don't know if I can't remember if they said she spins, but she definitely hand dyes like right there in Boston. These are hand dyed in Boston. So I got those 3. That was pretty fun. What else did I buy in the yarn store? I bought some other things and I can't remember what they are now. Oh, I got these fun stickers. This one, not now, I'm counting. And this one says, probably at the yarn store, which is pretty darn accurate. And what else did I get? There was some, oh yeah, I got this, oh, again, they didn't have a martini glass, but they did have a Boston Fiber Company kind of jar beer glass thing, right? Boston's very beer centric. It's like, there are breweries and things there. They have a long history of beer in Boston. Samuel Adams, that brand, like that's all from there. Anyway, so I got that. So that's going up on my shelf with my Harvard martini glass. And part of the prop world. Anything else? I don't know. No? Smita shaking her head. I think that's everything I wanted to cover today. I think that's it. We talked about how to modify this after the fact if you need to. And we talked about how to enter for prizes. And some great new modifications. Thank you so much, Lois and Karen. That was fantastic. And Mo, your work is beautiful. Everybody's work is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, you guys. This has just been so much fun. Oh yeah, are we going to do another knit along? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Probably in the fall. We're of course heading into summer now, and everybody's going to be crazy busy. I am working on a design for the next knit along, and it's going to be a squishy cowl, an infinity cowl with possible variations if you don't want to do an infinity cowl, but I'm working on a design that's going to include a bit of mosaic color work and some different texture patterns. It's going to be really groovy. I'll just show you the colors that I'm playing with right now that I got from Smita, of course. Check it out. Ooh.
Wow,
I know it's
beautiful.
very neat.
So nice.
Yeah, it's going to look great. It's going to be really, I think it's going to be very cool. And you'll enjoy it. And you'll be able to do it in, the beauty of that kind of cowl is you can do it in pretty much any kind of yarn that you want. You could switch up the weight of the yarn. You could do it anywhere from fingering up to worsted. Probably it's just going to scale it up or down. I'm going to design it in a way that'll make it easy to scale it up and down if you want to. So it's going to be lots of fun and an original design. And so if you join the knit along, you will be the first to get your hands on that original design. I won't publish it until after the knit along is finished, just so that you get to feel like you're knitting something that nobody else has ever knit ever.
Yeah. And I'll be very, very excited to put together kits again.
Oh yes, and
Give
Smita will put
discount.
kits together.
Yeah.
Yep.
A discount, right? And
At a discount.
yeah, it'll be fun.
So you're thinking September or October, Nicole?
Probably October. Randy and I are taking 3 weeks of vacation in September, so that would make it a bit challenging for me. So I think we'll start it in, maybe the second week of October, somewhere around there. So put that in your calendar. Save some knitting room for a knit along in the fall. And it was so great having everybody. Absolutely loved it. Smita and I had the best time. Like after the first session, we were so pumped. We were ready to start running retreats and doing more knit-alongs.
Thank you to Smita and you for running the knit along.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. It was super fun. And you guys have just been so fantastic, honestly.
And
Um,
sharing your design ideas. I'm going to do that fade one. That's pretty simple compared to this one that you did earlier, just with the
Oh,
waffles.
right. The Andrew Mowry's night shift one. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. That just knits up beautifully.
Yeah.
And you're right. Like it's a great stash buster. It's a great fade. It's a great way to very simple color work. Goes a lot faster than this.
Yes.
Say.
Yes. And it's knit side to side, so you don't
Right.
cast
So you're
on
knitting
so
the
much
short.
this.
Yeah. You're knitting
Yeah.
across the short end until you get the
Yeah.
length you want.
Yeah. So I think it'll be a fun one. I'm going to do that one in the fall.
Great. Awesome.
Thank you.
I look forward to seeing that.
Mhm.
Okay, everyone, unless anybody has anything else to say, I think we're going to wrap it up for today.
And thank you, Nicole, for introducing this great idea, that shawl adapted poncho fold over. This is
Good.
the first time idea for me.
Good.
So
Well, I'm
going to-
so glad. I'm so glad. I mean, it is something that I just sort of stumbled. I definitely didn't invent this. I know other people have done it, but it's just, I had to solve a problem for myself. And so I did. And so I just want to share it. I just want to let people know that you have options. Because those shawls, I mean, there are beautiful, beautiful, beautiful shawls out there, and we want to be able to wear them. Those of us who have trouble with styling triangle shawls. So, and we're out there. Some people are really good at it and they wear them beautifully. I'm not one of them. Smita, got any parting words for
Oh,
the knitter?
I enjoyed this and I have completed mine. I'm just sewing the ends.
Oh
Right.
yeah, we didn't look at Smita's.
I don't know if you can see it. Can you?
Your background blur is throwing it off.
Yeah.
You did the triangle version?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Now,
Yeah.
can you see now? I don't know.
No, it keeps every time you bring it forward, it blurs for some reason. It just
It's-
it just wants to focus on you.
Yes, yes. I'm going to remove the
I know
blur.
it's the blur my background thing
Yeah.
that
Now,
does. There we go.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
so it's all done.
Yeah, it's
Needs a
beautiful.
good soak.
And that is the same, pretty much the same colorway as the original pattern,
Yes,
right?
pretty
Yeah.
much. Yes, yes.
Yeah. Yes. I just think it looks great in every colorway.
That's the thing. Yeah.
You know,
You can get creative. So
you
even
can
with
get
the,
creative.
yeah. So, even when I put the kits together, I try to follow the
Recipe.
recipe a little bit, but I also want to go ahead and experiment, right?
Mhm.
And choose other colors that may, look really good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the next one. Really interested.
Yeah, it's great. I know my friend Kathy, who I was traveling with in Boston, she is working on one right now too. So I'm excited to see hers. She got going on it while we were together on the trip. So it's coming too. Anyway, love you all. It's been a slice. And I hope to see you next time, and I'll catch you on the podcast. And just keep knitting. If you got ideas for me, things you want to see, please let me know. You know how to find me. You know where I am.
So the best way to reach you to send a message on Ravelry?
Yeah, you can either direct message me on Ravelry, or you can just send me an email through the Knicoleknits design email address. Frankly, the email is the one I'm going to see first. Although Ravelry is pretty good at letting me know when there's a message in my Ravelry inbox as well, but that I'm looking at my email all day long every day because I have a job. damn job.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's what I would, if you want a response in a timely manner, that's the way to do it. Send me an email. Okay. All right. Have a great week, everybody. I'll see you in my podcast next week. And please go shop at Smita's store. She's got fantastic stuff there. And she's got some great new things. If you get her newsletters, there's a new shawl out that has nothing to do with me, and it's spectacular. So go check it out. It's a stranded knitting one.
Yeah.
But she's got lots of fun new yarns and things and books there too. So have a look. Okay, that's it. It's
Bye,
over.
everybody.
Say goodbye to the wicked
you.
stepmother.
Bye, Smita.
Bye.
Here I am.
There she is. Wave goodbye, Christina. Here we
Bye.
go. Bye, Christina.
Bye, everyone.
All right. Bye, everyone. See you soon.